Welcome to Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper. Discover the secrets to amazing health and longevity. Learn how lifestyle medicine, the vaccine for chronic diseases, can profoundly influence mind and body. Learn simple solutions such as healthy nutrition, exercise, strong family bonding, stress management, and spiritual renewal will empower you to live a longer, healthier, and more abundant life. And now, here's Dr. Dona Cooper.
An outbreak of coronavirus infections in the Wuhan province of China in December 2019 is threatening to emerge as the next pandemic. At current count, over 40,000 cases and 600 deaths have been reported in China and over 300 cases in 25 other countries. Unofficial modeling studies by a number of institutions claim infections of over 150,000. The alarming speed of transmission is in part because the virus spreads through the air and by touch. Using the power of 3D medical animation, this video covers what is a pandemic, how this coronavirus is spreading, how coronavirus attacks the body, and what are recommended precautions to take for protecting against epidemics. Pandemics indicate outbreaks of disease that spread to cover an entire region or the world. A pandemic can result in massive loss of life. In the last 100 years, there have been 4 global pandemics, the worst with the 1918 influenza pandemic, resulting in an estimated 50 to 100 million deaths. While no global pandemic has been born from the family of coronavirus, 2 regional epidemics have resulted from this family of viruses. They include severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, or MERS, in 2001 to 2003 and 2012 to 2015 respectively, and resulted in over 1,500 deaths. Much is yet to be known about the 2019 novel coronavirus. An early study of 99 infected showed a high mortality of 11%, similar to SARS, and ICU admission rates of 23%. An earlier study described a virus pathology with an 8-day incubation period, a week of infection, followed by a potential escalation to hospitalization and intensive care over another 8 to 10 days. Other indications put the mortality rate closer to 4%. The virus has, as of February 6th, over 40,000 confirmed cases in China alone, with almost 200 cases in over 25 other countries. However, Dr. Jonathan Reed from the UK believes that the numbers of actual cases is far greater and has estimated between 170 to 300,000 by February 9th. This is because symptoms can be mild and escape reporting and testing. What's more, in stark contrast to SARS, some patients may be infectious in their incubation period before the onset of any symptoms. Mechanism of action of coronavirus. The 2019 novel coronavirus is a newly discovered strain from the coronavirus family that causes respiratory disease. Humans have long been infected by coronavirus, as it is one of those responsible for the common cold. It is a contagious viral infection spread through inhalation or ingestion of viral droplets. As a result, coughing and sneezing and touching infected surfaces are primary sources of infection. The structure of coronavirus has multiple parts. Inside the virus lies the genetic encoding that allows the virus to hijack human cells and turn them into virus factories. A protein encapsulates the genetic material known as the viral envelope. On the surface of the viron are S and HE proteins. The structure of the 2019 novel coronavirus is a mutation. For more information on this, see the link below. The large S glycoproteins are used by the virus to gain entry to human cells. They most likely attach to angiotensin-converting enzyme 2 receptors on the cell membrane, allowing the virus entry. The exact mechanism for this is not known. Most likely, as shown here, the human cell ingests the virus in a process known as endocytosis. Once inside the cytoplasm, the endosome opens to reveal the virus's genetic material, a single-stranded RNA. The virus hijacks the cell's machinery to replicate the RNA in N proteins and uses the endoplasmic reticulum to form its M protein outer layer and the all-important S protein. After replication, the virus is carried by the Golgi bodies out of the cell in a process known as exocytosis, so that it can infect other cells. Meanwhile, the stress of viral production on the endoplasmic reticulum eventually leads to apoptosis, or cell death. It should be noted that the mechanism of action for 2019 novel coronavirus is unknown. However, scientists in China have sequenced the genome, while others have used the sequencing to visualize the structure. There is currently no cure or vaccine for the 2019 novel coronavirus, and treatment is only supportive. Therefore, preventing transmission is paramount. As an airborne virus, recommended precautions are similar to those for preventing the flu. This includes washing hands regularly with soap and water for 20 seconds, covering sneezes and coughs with the inside of the elbow, refraining from touching high-contact surfaces like railings and doorknobs. If you use tissues, throw them away immediately. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. For more info on precautions and best practices, see the list of references below. The pandemic risk of the novel coronavirus is very real. However, biology has advanced greatly in the 15 years since SARS, and so has communication between biologists and governments. China has taken monumental efforts to contain the spread of the virus. Also, some existing and experimental drugs are offering hope for treating the infection and improving outcomes. But even still, infection control habits remain paramount if humanity is to stave off a full pandemic. For further information, see the resources listed here.
Over the last several weeks, the world has been in a state of urgency as a result of the super virus, the novel coronavirus. I know that many people have been hearing a lot of things on social media, online, about this disease. But what is true? What should you take home? How should you prepare for the disease? This is Get Health with Dr. Cooper, and today we have much information to share with you. So welcome to Get Health with Dr. Cooper. Do you have a medical problem that you have been struggling with? Maybe obesity or diabetes. You have tried medications and you have tried diets, but nothing have worked. Well, studies have shown that a healthy lifestyle should be your vaccination to a healthier you. You might be wondering, what is a healthy lifestyle? Well, a healthy lifestyle consists of many lifestyle factors: nutrition, exercise, rest, and stress management. Do you want to take your health to another level? Then come with me and I will show you how. What are you waiting for?
Now is the time to believe that a healthier lifestyle is the answer. So get up, believe, start a healthier lifestyle today. Change and live.
Call us now at Cooper Wellness Center. So on our show today, I have a friend who is a specialist in infection, in superbugs like the coronavirus. Dr. Garcia, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I've been in the infectious disease field since 1994.
Wow.
A few years of experience.
That's a lot of years of experience.
We have been through some outbreaks before, but well, the topic today is going to be COVID-19, and we'll try to clarify as many doubts as possible.
Correct. And this is a pandemia.
This is a pandemia.
What is this?
Yeah, it's been declared by the World Health Organization a pandemia because this virus has expanded very quickly among the 5 continents. There are over 140 countries now that report cases of COVID-19, which has demonstrated to have a very effective way of transmission from person to person.
All right. Do you know where this virus began?
There are a few theories. Many of the coronaviruses come from animals. what is infrequent is that the virus will jump from the animal to the human, but sometimes the virus have some mutations, the RNA of the virus mutates, and then acquires the capacity to infect humans. It's postulated because of the genetic analysis that has been done that this may come from the bats, but still a lot of learned on this field.
A lot to learn in this field.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the statistics. We are here in South Texas, but as you said, this virus has affected the entire world, essentially.
Yes.
140 countries.
Yes.
But in the United States, tell me a little bit about our statistics here.
As of today, because these numbers will keep changing.
Right.
Okay? But as of today, we have over 150, well, worldwide, we have over 150,000 cases. And in the United States, about 1,700 cases.
Alrighty, and how many deaths so far?
So far in the United States, 41.
41. Then why are we so anxious? Why are we taking all this precaution rather than explain somewhat? Because I think our listeners want to know, we have 47 deaths, however, we're in a state of emergency.
If you consider the statistics worldwide, the lethality rate, it changes from 3 to 5% in general, hopefully closer to 3%. Depends on the geographic area where the numbers come from. So it has a significant mortality, and it's also the potential that it have to infect and cause more problems in the more vulnerable population.
And when you say more vulnerable, who are we talking about? We're talking about the elderly, probably?
Age is an important factor. Once you are over age 60, your risk of having complications gets higher.
Right.
But age 70 is almost twice the mortality that you will see compared to the rest of the population. So age definitely is a factor. There are other factors to consider. If you have, let's say, uncontrolled diabetes, is a risk factor. Your immune system is not that healthy. If you have chronic lung disease or chronic cardiac disease, those are also patients who are at risk to develop complications if they acquire the virus.
Right, and patients who are probably in chemotherapy, those
exactly,
with rheumatic
cancer
disease.
patients on chemotherapy, any condition that affects your immune system.
That's right. All right, then let me ask you, I know patients have been calling in to us to ask us if we have testing kits. Do we have testing kits yet in South Texas?
As of now, the testing capacity is limited. Most of the tests we've been trying to do through the health department, and they are processed at the CDC level. But now we have private laboratories that have the capacity to perform the tests. So more testing kits are becoming available. So it's something that, as of now, has been very limited, but should be getting better in the next few days.
Correct. I had someone who came to my office last week to have me sign to receive 10 kits. So if you're listening to us and you're from South Texas, don't really come to access the test. We don't have the kits yet. Alrighty. Now, what are some of the signs and symptoms that the patients might present with?
The most prominent symptom will be a fever. Okay, and fever with a temperature above 103 Fahrenheit. Then the second most important symptom after fever will be cough. Typically, this is a non-productive cough, but there is up to a quarter of the patients that may have productive cough. So it's a relative criteria.
Right.
And in more advanced cases, in more advanced cases, we'll start seeing symptoms of pneumonia, shortness of breath, gasping for air. That will be if the infection progresses and affects the lungs.
Right. But studies have shown then that 80% of the people who are infected with the virus may have absolutely no symptoms at all. Am I right?
Actually, 80% of the patients who are affected by the virus will have a very benign course, more like a cold, a little bit of fever, maybe a little bit of cough, but no dyspnea, no shortness of breath. And eventually, with just supportive treatment, good hydration, fever control, symptoms will go away.
Right.
But then we have the other 20% that will progress into pneumonia. And those are the patients that will have difficulty breathing, and the oxygen level will decline. No? And the most extreme situation will be those patients who will require to be on the ventilator.
Which about 5% of those,
About 5% will develop severe respiratory failure.
Right, right. Now, the numbers don't seem so alarming, but yet we're in a state of urgency. Why is this so?
It's a novel virus. That means that's a new virus to the human. So basically, none of us has immunity against it.
Correct.
So even though we say, okay, we are talking about, let's say 3% mortality. Well, if you consider 3% of millions and millions of people that inhabit the earth, well, that's a
lot.
A lot.
Correct, I agree. And as you mentioned, that is a new virus, and we have not developed antibodies to fight the virus. So that's one of the reasons why there's such an urgency. Number two, we don't have treatment, we don't have vaccine, and that's one of the reasons why there's such a state of urgency. The other thing too is you mentioned that many people will have the virus and have no symptom, and they can go out and actually spread the disease to people who are susceptible.
That's completely true, particularly in the pediatric population. The little ones, they might get the virus, but they don't show symptoms or very little symptoms. And the young population, I mean, 20s or 30s, they typically will develop like a mild respiratory infection, a little bit of fever, cough. So they will recover and they will be okay, but during the period that they cough, they have the capacity to transfer the patient, the virus to other patients who are more immunocompromised and maybe in trouble because of it.
Very good. So how then is this virus spread?
The main mechanism is through droplets. That means the micro drops of saliva that we expel at the time we sneeze or we cough. Those don't travel long distances.
Right.
Yeah, they usually don't travel beyond 3 feet. Okay. So there are two scenarios here. You cough, expel those micro droplets of saliva, and somebody who is in close proximity to you may inhale them, okay? By that mechanism, get the virus. Or the other potential situation is that, okay, there was nobody around you, but you cough up and those contaminated secretions go on a surface. Somebody else comes, touches the surface, and then touches the face, the nose, and inoculates the virus that way. So those are the two main ways to get it, through droplets or through contact.
Very good, very good. So then, do you have anything you want to tell our audience how to prevent this disease?
Yes, absolutely. Knowing the mechanisms of transmission helps a lot to us to understand what can we do to prevent it. The first thing to do is, if you show any respiratory symptoms, if you are coughing, but otherwise stable, stay at home. Okay, try to prevent the transmission of this virus to other people. If you require medical attention, try to notify in advance your doctor or the hospital that you are going, so they will be prepared to receive you. And try to, in that particular situation, try to wear a mask whenever you are visiting the doctor or going to the hospital. Then the other very important thing is the use of water and soap, hand washing, extremely important. Let's do it frequently. Use of hand sanitizers with over 60% alcohol are also very effective in inactivating the virus. So those are measures that definitely, if we implement them, should help to stop significantly the spread of this disease.
Right, and a lot of us don't know how to wash our hands, the length of time, so it is said to wash for at least 20 seconds.
That's correct, at least 20 seconds.
And wash every part of the hand, the posterior, the palmar, in between the fingers, the nails, everything.
And the other important thing is no matter the type of soap you use. Antibacterial soaps are not needed. Regular soap is all you need to deactivate the virus from your hands.
Very good. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with Dr. Chang Brown as we talk a little bit more about how we can prevent this virus. Friends, I want to tell you that with the coronavirus, we have absolutely no treatment. We have not developed a vaccine for the virus, and we don't have any antiviral medication. But we have something natural for you. We have immune boosters. We have our juices that are packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and all the antioxidant that you need to boost your immune system to fight the coronavirus. This week, we're going to have all these juices on sale at the Foodamed restaurant. So if you really want to fight coronavirus, go to Foodamed restaurant, which is on 10th Street, 6401 North 10th. You can ask for the revitalizer juices. You can also ask for the turmeric. You could ask for the immune booster shot. This is one way to boost your immune system and to protect yourself from super viruses like the coronavirus. So don't hesitate to go to Foodamed, 956-631-4484, and get your immune shot today. Let me take the time to welcome some of you that have joined me. I see my aunt here, Hyacinth Brown. I see Michael Sabath, Edgar Alanis, welcome. Fanny King, welcome. Brother Box Hill from New York, welcome. I see an Antoinette, Kofi, Cynthia, all of you that are watching, I want to welcome you. Coronavirus infection is, as you know, it's something that we need to learn as much as we can about, because we need to protect yourself from getting the disease or from spreading the disease. It's a novel virus. That means it's a new virus. We don't know much about it. We have not built immunity against the virus. We have no vaccine. We have no treatment. And that is the reason why I'm here to share with you. You know, I have been listening a lot to the various medias, to the various outlets, and I told my patients, you know what? I need to go and say something as well, because I know patients are calling and asking, what should we do for this virus? And how should we protect yourself? And one of the best ways in protecting yourself is actually to boost your immune system. Because if you have strong immune system, then you'll be able to fight the virus. As mentioned on all these media, that the virus will cause disease in patients that are immunocompromised, don't have a strong system to fight. Patients who are diabetic, patients who have heart disease, patients on dialysis, patients with high blood pressure, cancer patients. Even if you have rheumatoid arthritis and you're on immunosuppressive therapy, you're at risk. So then what should you do? Then you need to learn as much then you need to take universal precaution. And you need to stay and listen as Dr. Garcia, Dr. Brown, and myself bring you some information. Now, if you speak Spanish, or if you know someone that speaks Spanish, then we're going to also speak in Spanish towards the end of the program, so that we'll be all inclusive. All right? So I want you to sit back as Dr. Brown comes forward and talk to us a little bit about some of the things you need to do to protect yourself from coronavirus. Don't go away. Dr. Brown will be right here. Welcome back to Get Health with Dr. Cooper. Today we're talking about the novel coronavirus that the whole world is talking about. And in the studio today, I have with me a board-certified internal medicine doctor, Dr. Chang Brown. Welcome, Dr. Brown.
Thank you.
You know, Dr. Brown also practices lifestyle medicine. And as Dr. Garcia just mentioned, that one of the risk factors for getting this disease is a suppressed immune system. And therefore, there are ways in which we need to protect our bodies against the virus. So first of all, Dr. Brown, I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit of what are the simple universal precautions that everyone should take in order not to get infected by this virus?
Universal precautions, I would start with hand washing. As Dr. Garcia pointed out, contact is one means that, by which the virus is spread. And so hand washing is very, very important. Apart from hand washing, if we come in contact with, say, a dirty surface, an infected surface, try not to put the hands in the face, around the eyes, the nose, the mouth. That's very important. We need to make sure that we have water and soap. As he said, any type of soap is good. Hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. If we cannot get hand sanitizer, we can use even rubbing alcohol. That has a good percentage of alcohol.
Very good. I think that is very clear. Now, apart from that, how can we build our immune system? How can we fight? Because we do need strong immunity to fight, whether it's a super virus, whether it's bacteria, whether it's fungus. And as mentioned earlier on, people with diabetes, with heart disease, people who are on dialysis, the elderly patient, cancer patient, even patients with rheumatoid arthritis on immunosuppressive therapy or at risk for the disease. Tell us then, how can we build our immune system?
Well, I would say in any disease condition, there are certain general principles that we should follow. And I will refer to an acronym which is widely referred to in many circles called New START.
Right.
N stands for nutrition. So what are we putting into our bodies? We need to keep out certain items like alcohol, excessive amounts of sugar. Even caffeine may have an effect in terms of our immune systems. So limiting whatever is not healthy and focusing on what is good. We need to move towards, I advocate, and I'll leave that up to our viewers to choose, but I advocate a plant-based diet.
What is a plant-based diet?
It's a diet in which one stays away from animal products and one tends to eat whole foods which are whole.
All right. So when you say whole fruits which are whole, whole foods which are whole, we're talking about, for example, eating an apple rather than the juice, correct?
Right.
Right. Now, let's talk about plant-based diet. We do know that we find lots of phytochemicals, lots of vitamins that are relevant to the proper function of our bodies. In this case, when there's immune suppression state, what are some of the vitamins that you'd recommend that we take an abundance of in terms of in the food we eat that will help to boost the immune system?
I would go first to the cruciferous vegetables.
Excellent.
Such as broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I would go for the greens. Top of the list, I would choose kale and spinach. And of course, I cannot forget garlic, because garlic Apart from being immune stimulating, it's also antiviral.
Very good, very good. I would also add fruits, the citric fruits. We do need a lot of vitamin C and vitamin A, vitamin E. These are antioxidants that will help to boost the immune system, right?
Yes, most of the berries have a very, very high concentration of antioxidants, as well as plums, which are quite reasonable at this time of the year.
I agree. So you're in the N. Can you continue with your acronym?
Okay, I'm at N. So
E.
Exercise. Exercise always boosts the immune system.
Correct.
It's expected that we're all not sitting down like couch potatoes, but we're going out into the fresh air and exercising. We recommend at least 30 minutes of brisk walking per day, at least 5 days per week. You can rest on the weekend, but it's best if you're able to maintain it all week through. So that's N-E-W. We're at the W, and that's water. Water has functions which are both internal and external.
That's right.
It's one of the natural remedies that God gave to us.
Imagine that.
We have to remain clean, and that's the washing part of it.
Washing of the hands.
Washing of the hands. And even when we take a bath, do you know that there's a type of bath or bathing that can help to promote the immune system, not just to go and take a regular shower? One can alternate hot and cold. So start under the hot water, run that for about 1.5 minutes. Then for the next half hour, you bathe.
The next 30 seconds.
Sorry, half a minute, 30 seconds. We don't want that high water bill, and that's not necessary. That's a waste. So for the next 30 seconds, go to the cold water. Then go back under the hot water another 1.5 minutes, come back out in the cold. You can do that for 2 or 3 cycles, and generally we want to end with a cold, and that's for 1 minute at the last round. This is a good immune booster.
Right, it is believed that contrasting bath will increase the number of lymphocytes. And we do need the lymphocytes to produce the killer T cells that will fight the supervirus and actually any form of microbes.
Yes.
All right, which is your next in the acronym?
S.
Okay.
S for sunlight. Sunlight has antibacterial, antiviral properties. That's why when the summertime comes, the flu season usually dies down.
Yeah.
We're expecting that this will have some effect on the coronavirus, but we still have to wait and see what happens. We're keeping our fingers crossed on that one. Sunlight also helps to make vitamin D in the skin. And we know that vitamin D is a very important part of the immune system.
Correct. You know, vitamin D will increase the function of the lymphocyte. That's one. We all know about vitamin D and bone health, but vitamin D also is a gene sterilizer. And we know that with the virus will enter into our genome and then start replicating, as Dr. Garcia said. So vitamin D is absolutely important, and you have to be in the sun. All right, let's continue on your acronym.
Next we go to T. That's temperance. We need to be temperate in all things. That means whatever is not good, we avoid. And even good things, we use them in moderation. We should definitely try to avoid the use of alcohol, because this suppresses the immune system, and it also promotes inflammation. And as we know, Dr. Garcia mentioned that pneumonia is a part of the symptomatology of this disease, of this disorder. And when we get to the point of pneumonia, then that can rapidly progress and take us down take us on a downhill path.
All right, so we are at temperance. And then what is next?
Let's not forget, I only said alcohol. I had a senior moment there. So let's go to smoking, even secondhand smoke. And I think I mentioned before sugar. So be temperate. Cut out all the sweets, or as much as possible. You might have a little craving. There are many sweets to be found in natural foods. You don't have to eat refined sugars. You can eat a sweet fruit.
Right. Sugar is an inflammatory, it causes inflammation. and that will worsen your immune system and your disease process. So you need to eliminate processed sugar. All right? What else do we have, Doc?
Next is air. Remember, it's new start. So now we're at air. Get outside and get a lot of fresh air. It is more likely that the disease will be transmitted in a place where people are huddled together, just like influenza. So there is no restriction on going out in the fresh air and expand the lungs, breathe the clean, fresh air which God has provided for us.
Right. And remember we mentioned that there has to be a social distance from someone who's coughing. That is about 3 feet, but better yet 6 feet. So the fresh air is important. Keep ventilation going and you'll reduce the risk of getting this virus.
You know what I've noticed? That people may be in a line, but they're just right up on each other. I believe that social distancing should apply to people who are lined up waiting for some type of service also.
Right. So if you're listening to us and you really want to protect yourself from the coronavirus, make sure you're at least 3 feet away from the other person next to you. All right, so that's fresh air.
Next, we move to rest. It's very important that as much as possible we get close to 8 hours of rest each night. Our bodies need to rest and repair. While we're sleeping, there is work going on, or natural killer cells and our T lymphocytes are cleaning the body of all types of impurities. So it's very, very important that we get to bed. If we miss our sleep, or if we sleep less than usual, then our bodies will not be able to fight disease as well.
Correct. You know, sometimes when I feel that I'm getting a sore throat or a common cold, I know I need to rest and drink enough water. Just by doing that, I recuperate very fast. So rest is indeed medicine, because with rest, as Dr. Brown mentioned, your natural killer cells will be motivated to fight and repair. And then you're the last one.
Wait, so may I ask you a question?
Yes.
How much water?
How much water? Now, there's a common rule of 8 that you should really have 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water. However, there's another rule. You could just check your weight. Take half of your weight in ounces. So if you're weighing, say, 100 pounds, then you probably should have 50 ounces of water per day. Now, if you have heart failure or kidney failure, you must discuss that with your doctor, because you may need to drink a little less. If you're in the sun working, for example, or if you're having diarrhea or vomiting, you need more water than that. So it's relevant. It's relative. All right, Dr. Brown.
The last one is another T, and I believe this is one of the most important. It's trust in God. Psalm 46 verse 1 says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Trusting in God means that we don't get very hyped up about everything. We are not those people who will be panicking, but we will be taking all precautions that we need to in order to ward off this disease, in order to not contract it, and in order not to pass it on to others. If we get too worried, then we tend to get depressed. And as with depression, we have also people who are lonely. We have people who have no social support. Their immunity is also suppressed. So everything that we can do to trust in God and to relieve ourselves of these burdens that we don't really have to carry, all of that will help us in terms of fighting disease.
Right, and studies have really shown that people who have hope, or people who are optimistic, tend to live about 10 years longer than those that are depressed, those without social support. And of course, the good old book said, a merry heart is medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bone. So you're watching and you're getting very anxious about the coronavirus. I think you should listen to all of these nuggets that you learned from Dr. Brown, and most importantly, have faith, don't worry, follow precaution, and you will be safe. All right, Dr. Brown, and the last thing before we cut and bring Dr. Garcia back. Anything else would you like to say?
I would just like to say to everyone out there, Stay calm. Take all the necessary precautions. Make sure that you have good support. And finally, keep trusting in God.
Right. And don't go to the supermarket and buy everything that's there, all the soap, all the tissue, and all the cleaning supply. Be considerate. Leave something out there. Don't come into the offices if you're coughing or if you have high fever. Call us. Most of us have telehealth. We can actually see you at home with our telehealth platform. So call your doctor if you think you have the problem, so the doctor can prepare. And if you have to go to the emergency room, please call ahead so they can also prepare to meet you. We're going to take a short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Let me take the time to welcome some of you there. I see Rob Hardy, Carlene Denniser, Doris from my church, Dr. Doris, welcome. I see R.L. Chance, Pastor Chance, welcome. My sister from New York, Loretta Estela Garcia, welcome. I know Jane Santos had a question. What is the difference between the common flu and the COVID-19? I think the COVID-19 is more deadly in terms of its ability to spread from one patient to the next. And that's the reason why, of course, it's a new virus. We have no information on the virus, we have no vaccine, we have no immunity, and that's the reason why it is so dangerous. So I want to welcome you all, and I want you to share, like and share. And then I have a question from Yvonne Pitt. She says, I'm a healthcare worker and was exposed to a patient who tested positive for the coronavirus. My job told me to stay home for 2 weeks. Meanwhile, what should I do at home? All right, I think you should do whatever you like to do. Make sure that you're not going out in public places. Take the time to boost your immune system. So how can you boost your immune system? I'm going to give you a recipe. Write this down, everyone, because you need to have a lot of vitamin C, vitamin A, a lot of antioxidant and other phytonutrients to fight this virus. So write this down. This is an immune booster for you. I'd like you to use 2 large grapefruits. Let me lower this one. Hold on here. I'm going to lower the volume here. So 2 large grapefruits, 2 oranges. You're going to peel those. Then you're going to set them aside. You're going to use 10 lime or lemon. You can use lemon, 10, the juice from those. Then you're going to use about 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. Garlic is antiviral. Garlic has a lot of nutrients to fight infection and to build immune system. You're going to use 1 apple large, 1 carrot. Carrot has beta-carotenoid, vitamin A, vitamin C, and all the fiber that you need to build the immune system. Then you're going to add 2 inches of ginger, 2 inches of turmeric. You all know about turmeric, that turmeric is a wonder food and has been used in the Asian culture for years to fight viruses, fight bacteria, fight fungus. It also has antioxidant. Antioxidant fights cell death and free radical and keep your cell alive. And then let's see what I'm missing. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is also has anti-inflammatory properties. So it's going to be grapefruit, oranges, lime, carrot, and ginger, 2 inches of ginger, 2 inches of turmeric, then the cayenne pepper. You can add 2 cups of water. So you're going to blend all of that. Blend all of that. Then you're going to take 1/2 cup twice a day. You can keep it in your refrigerator for days. That will help to build your immune system. Lots of vitamin C, tons of vitamin A, and tons of other nutrients that you need. All right, so Claudia Torres, hello. I want to welcome Melo B, and I have some other people on this phone here. Manuel Canales, Donacio, Eddie, Leonora, all of you watching, please like and share. We're talking about coronavirus. We know that this is a new virus and it is very dangerous because it's easily transmitted from one person to the next. And that is why I'm here to share some information. So like and share, follow me for more updates on the coronavirus. And of course, if you need more information, you could also find me on my telehealth platform, which is attached to this post. Just go in and sit in the waiting room and I will get to you. I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to be right back with Dr. Brown and Dr. Garcia to give you more information on this COVID-19 infection. Friends, I want to tell you that with the coronavirus, we have absolutely no treatment. We have not developed a vaccine for the virus, and we don't have any antiviral medication. But we have something natural for you. We have immune boosters. We have our juices that are packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and all the antioxidant that you need to boost your immune system to fight the coronavirus. This week, we're going to have all these juices on sale at the Foodamed restaurant. So if you really want to fight coronavirus, go to Foodamed restaurant, which is on 10th Street, 6401 North 10th. You can ask for the revitalizer juices. You can also ask for the turmeric. You could ask for the immune booster shot. This is one way to boost your immune system and to protect yourself from super viruses like the coronavirus. So don't hesitate to go to Foodamed, 956-631-4484 and get your immune shot today. Welcome back to Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper. We're here today discussing the coronavirus. I'm sure you have heard a lot about it. But as physician, I thought it was prudent for us to come and say something as well. So here we have the specialist in infectious disease, Dr. Garcia, and then specialist in internal medicine, Dr. Chang Brown. Dr. Garcia, I want you to talk a little bit again about the urgency. Why is there a state of emergency in the United States, in Italy, and in other countries? We have had other viruses. We have had SARS, we have had N1 and 2, we have had other viruses, and we've never had schools locking down, churches locking down. We cannot have public gathering. Why is this so?
This virus is behaving a little bit differently compared to the other viruses. Let's say SARS or MERS, which are other type of coronaviruses. They had a higher mortality, but they didn't spread that easily from person to person. This virus has a lower mortality rate compared to those other two, but spreads more easily between humans. So these have the capacity to infect a very large number of the population. That's why the concern, and I think it's very important to be aggressive in the initial management of this outbreak to try to prevent complications in the future.
Right, so it's more infectious. Now, I heard another doctor in another show discussing the difference between the SARS and this COVID-19. That with the SARS, one person could infect a person and a half, for example. But with the with this coronavirus, COVID-19, one person, infected person, could infect 3 to 6 persons. It's more infectious. And
it's definitely more infectious. It's more infectious than influenza in that sense. So it's one of the factors why this is spreading so quickly. Now with the global communications, everybody travels.
Right.
The virus travels with you. I mean, coming is the same plane that you are coming from. And that's why they are trying to limit the movement of people around the globe.
Very good, very good. Dr. Brown, I'm going to go back to you because there probably are people that have just joined the show. Since this virus is so infectious, what is the number one thing that you'd recommend that people do to prevent spreading this virus from one person to the next one?
I would say that if you have come in contact with a patient who has the disease or who is suspected of having the disease, or if that person has traveled to an area of high prevalence of the disease, that you should take precautions to not mingle with too many people until you see whether you yourself are developing symptoms. Make sure that wherever you go, you limit touching different surfaces. Take some hand sanitizer with you so you can apply that to the hands. As Dr. Cooper pointed out before, the palms, the back of the hands, in between the fingers, underneath the nails. Make sure that you're washing your hands frequently. Avoid hugging people. Avoid shaking hands because, as we mentioned, touch is one means of transmission. The other way is to make sure that we're building up a healthy immune system and also maintaining that social distance, staying a few feet away from people so that in case they sneeze or cough, those droplets which can move from their mouth or their noses into the air will be outside of the zone where you're standing.
Good, that's more than one thing. That's a big summary, but thank you very much. Dr. Garcia, if I think that I was exposed, how long should I isolate myself for?
The recommendation for self-isolation is 14 days because it can take up to 14 days from the time of exposure to develop symptoms. Most commonly, symptoms occur before that period of time. The average is 5 days. No? But based also on experience with the previous coronaviruses outbreaks, the 14-day period is the recommended one because sometimes the incubation period may be a little longer.
Very good, excellent. So if you're listening to us and you think you've been exposed, one of the best way to prevent your community from getting the disease, because it is so infectious, is to stay away. Now, what are some of the symptoms that you'd recommend that if someone has these symptoms, then they should seek medical advice? Because we know we have no treatment. So the symptoms is really supportive. Actually,
yeah, it's mostly supportive care. I will say if you are immunocompromised, you have a febrile illness with associated cough in a documented area where an outbreak is active, then you should seek medical attention. Definitely, if you start showing symptoms of pneumonia, if you're feeling short of breath, for sure you should seek medical attention.
Very good. All right, now we are going to wrap up. This is our final segment, and I'm going to ask each of the doctors here to just give a final word, because I'm sure that you want to get as much as possible from this show so you can prevent yourself from getting severely ill from this disease. I'll start with Dr. Garcia, the expert on infectious diseases.
Well, I will say first thing is to keep calm. Right. We need to pay attention to the news, but we have to be careful where we get the information from. There is a lot of speculation on social media. Right. Not all the information that's over there is reliable. So let's use reliable sources like the CDC webpage, Texas Department of Health locally, or the World Health Organization. And they have very clear advice. accessible to everybody. So that will be my main recommendation.
Thank you. What about you, Dr. Brown?
A proactive approach to health is what we require in order to stem the tide of this virus. So let's, as Dr. Garcia says, pay attention to all the news media, but at the same time, work with ourselves to see how we can build a healthy immune system to help to fight this disease, which is estimated that may extend to 40 to as many as 70% of the population of the world.
Right. So that is why building that immune system is correct. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper.
I want to thank you, Dr. Brown, for giving us information how to build the immune system, and Dr. Garcia for spreading some more intelligent information on the virus. And for our listeners, we want you to keep calm, but be prudent. Be careful. All right, so I want to take some questions here. I see here someone is asking, my daughter is 11 years old and her immune system is not strong. What should she do to protect her daughter against this virus? Is the virus dangerous for this child? Yes, it is. So what I recommend is a balanced meal. Make sure you're giving your child more fruits and more veggies, more whole grains, taking away the sugars, taking away the processed foods, and giving her a lot of water, and make sure she's resting. So you can give her the immune booster that I just gave. You're going to blend 2 grapefruits. You're going to peel those grapefruits, but you're going to keep the interior part of it. You need the fiber. You're going to use 2 oranges, 1 apple, 6 or 10 lemons. You're going to juice those. You're going to add 1 large carrot. And then to that, you're going to add 2 inches of turmeric, 2 inches of ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and of course, 8 to 10 cloves of garlic, 2 cups of water. You're going to blend that well, keep that in the refrigerator, and for an adult, I recommend 1/2 cup twice a day. For your daughter, for children less than 12, I recommend 1/2 cup per day rather than twice a day per day. All right, I want to welcome some people who are watching. I see Dr. Aubrey Kelly, Chris Trevino, Alma Gonzalez, Nana, Janet, all of you that's watching me now, I'd like you to like and share. We have to be prudent in protecting our community and our families, ourselves, from coronavirus. So share the information, like the page, click follow so you can get updates. And on this phone, I see my cousin here, Marcia Delviz, the juice you recommended, grapefruit, apple, turmeric, and all of that. That's excellent. Yes, it's packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and all these antioxidants, beta-carotenoid, and all the things you need to build the immune system. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. Helps in healing, keeping your cells alive. Vitamin C will boost the lymphocyte function to fight diseases. Stay away from sugar. Sugar weakens the immune system. Your white blood cell cannot function when there's too much sugar in your blood. So stay away from sugar. All right? Now, I know that I have a lot of people watching that probably speak only Spanish. Así que ahorita vamos a empezar en un segmento de español. So if you know someone who speaks Spanish, share it to them and tell them that. We're changing now to Spanish, so we'll cover many people. All right, so we're going to move into the Spanish segment. So call your friends who speak Spanish. If you want to learn some Spanish, stay there. Así que ahorita vamos a empezar con lo del español y la coronavirus. Bienvenido otra vez a Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper. Hoy estamos hablando acerca de la coronavirus. Aquí tenemos el doctor García. Él es especialista en enfermedad infecciosa, como la virus. Así que, doctor, háblanos acerca de este problema que está pasando en todo el mundo.
Es un nuevo virus para el humano, es el COVID-19. Se ha denominado de esa manera, basado en sus siglas en inglés, que quiere decir Coronavirus Disease 2019 o enfermedad del coronavirus 2019, porque los primeros casos fueron reportados en una región de la China, en Wuhan, a fines del año 2019, exactamente 31 de diciembre del 2019 se reportaron que había unos casos de neumonía de origen desconocido. Y ahí es que se inician las investigaciones y se logra identificar este virus como agente causal de la infección.
Sí. ¿Y por qué se dice que es una pandemia? ¿Por qué pandemia?
Se dice que es una pandemia porque se ha extendido rápidamente a más de 140 países en el mundo. Este virus ha demostrado que tiene la capacidad de ser relativamente fácil transmisible entre humano y humano y tiene una tasa de mortalidad que se considera significativa. Por eso es que la Organización Mundial de la Salud lo ha catalogado a nivel pandemia.
Sí, pero hace unos años atrás tuvimos esta enfermedad de SARS, que era más peligroso, pero no estábamos en este estado de urgencia. ¿Por qué?
Lo que pasó con el SARS es que sí es cierto, en proporción, la gente que se afectaba del SARS moría más frecuentemente si la comparamos con el COVID. La transmisión de humano a humano era más limitada y el SARS realmente permaneció en una zona geográfica bastante limitada, no se extendió mundialmente como este otro virus.
Aquí en el Valle de Texas, ¿algún caso?
Al momento no tenemos casos documentados, pero de la manera como se está expandiendo la infección, yo pienso que es altamente probable que en el futuro cercano empecemos a documentar casos.
Doctora Brown, ¿usted ha visto algo similar en su oficina, alguien con estos síntomas? Háblanos acerca de qué síntomas se puede tener con esta infección.
Cada persona que viene a la oficina tenemos que preguntar ciertas cosas. ¿Tiene calentura? ¿Tiene tos o tiene falta de respiración? Esas son las tres más comunes.
Y ahorita, doctor, ¿tenemos manera de hacer análisis para este virus?
Lo hay. La capacidad de hacer el análisis al momento es limitada. La manera principal se usa un hisopado a través de la nariz. A veces también se puede hacer hisopado en la garganta, pero el más importante parece ser el de la nariz, y se manda al laboratorio a analizar. La técnica que se emplea para identificar el virus no nos da un reporte inmediato. Entonces vamos a tomar la muestra y vamos a esperar varios días a esperar el resultado, ¿no? Y eso es importante clarificarlo, ¿no? Porque a veces pensamos, ok, me hicieron la prueba y voy a saber en un minuto y no es así.
Entonces, esos pacientes, por ejemplo, que han tenido síntomas y están esperando su resultado, ¿qué vamos a hacer con esos pacientes? ¿Qué debemos hacer?
La gran mayoría de los pacientes puede estar en aislamiento en casa, evitar salir de la casa, tratar de detener la cadena de contagio, monitorear síntomas. Si es que uno empieza con síndrome febril, pero por el resto está estable, no hay indicación de hospitalización. Y esa es la gran mayoría de los pacientes. Son muy pocos los que van a requerir estar en el hospital. Pero si ese paciente desarrolla dificultad para respirar, entonces sí definitivamente requiere evaluación médica. Y lo que tenemos que identificar es que la falla respiratoria no ocurre al comienzo de la enfermedad. Uno empieza con síntomas y generalmente en la segunda semana de la enfermedad es que vienen los problemas respiratorios.
Así que si este paciente está en casa, en aislamiento, y empieza con tos y calentura, ¿qué tienen que hacer primero antes de ir al médico o a la emergencia?
Tienen que llamar para que ya sea su médico o el hospital esté preparados para recibirlos de una manera adecuada, tomar las precauciones nuevamente para detener la cadena de la transmisión del virus. Al salir de la casa tienen que usar una mascarilla, por si acaso viene un acceso de tos, evitar que esas microgotas de saliva contaminen el ambiente y a otras personas.
Muy bien, muy bien. Háblame, doctora Brown. ¿Qué debemos hacer para evitar, para protegernos? ¿Qué tenemos que hacer en cuanto de precaución universal? Lavando las manos, ¿qué más?
Sí, necesita lavar las manos muy bien, enfrente, aquí atrás, entre los dedos, abajo de las uñas. Y en tiempos cuando vamos a usar el, ¿cómo se llama?
El sanitizer.
El sanitizer. Pero en español,
desinfectante.
el desinfectante
sí.
tiene que usarlo así también. Necesita limpiar lugares donde mucha gente está tocando. Y también necesita su sistema de inmunidad. Necesita ayudar a eso.
Sí, hay que
fortalecerlo.
Sí, comiendo mejor, más frutas, vegetales, frutas con vitamina C, vitamina A, como vegetales, como hay que tomar más agua, okay, hay que descansar y cosas así.
Cosas así.
All right. Doctor, ¿qué puede decir a la gente que tiene un poco de infección en la casa? Porque no hay tratamiento ahorita. Entonces, ¿qué tienen que hacer si tienen un poco de calentura, un poco de tos y cosas así?
Bueno, yo creo que al momento es más control de síntomas,
Sí.
¿no? Para las calenturas, lo que normalmente se recomienda de acuerdo a sus alergias, puede ser acetaminofén, sintomáticos para la tos over the counter, que no necesitan prescripción. Una buena hidratación siempre es muy importante. Y bueno, y sobre todo estar pendiente a la evolución de los síntomas, ¿no? Uno puede empezar de una manera relativamente leve, pero como lo mencionamos anteriormente, la segunda semana en un pequeño porcentaje de pacientes puede progresar a neumonía. Entonces estar sobre todo atentos a eso, monitorear si es que empieza la falta de aire, entonces inmediatamente buscar atención de un profesional de la salud.
Sí. Y lo más importante es para mantener calma.
Oh, sí, sobre todo, como hemos discutido previamente, el 80% de la población que es afectada por el virus va a tener un curso bastante benigno, va a ser básicamente como un resfrío. Es el 20% restante que va a tener una enfermedad más severa. Y generalmente ese 20% restante es la gente que está más inmunocomprometida, ¿no? Gente mayor o que tiene problemas crónicos de fondo. Entonces, ese grupo en especial es el grupo que tenemos que tener más cuidado, ¿no? Mantener la distancia, usar todas las medidas que nos están recomendando las entidades de salud pública.
Sí, sí, así que pacientes que están en riesgo son pacientes de edad, 60, 70 años o más, pacientes con diabetes, alta presión, enfermedad del corazón, están recibiendo diálisis, pacientes con cáncer. Estos pacientes tienen más riesgo de tener esa enfermedad. Así que hay que tener más cuidado en cuanto de la comida, el descanso y también para lavar sus manos y para evitar personas que probablemente tienen tos y resfrío. Okay. ¿Algo más antes de
Bueno,
acabar?
solamente seguir atentamente las recomendaciones del Departamento de Salud, de la CDC, de la Organización Mundial de la Salud. Es muy importante que seamos cautelosos con la información que encontramos en Internet. Mucha de esa información no es correcta y más es lo que puede crear un pánico innecesario que no conduce a nada. Entonces, busquemos esa información de lugares confiables como los que ya mencioné.
Sí, sí. O hablar con su médico. Doctora, ¿tiene algo más para decir?
Sí, hay ciertas cosas que debemos evitar o reducir. el azúcar, el alcohol, el tabaco. Necesitamos hacer el ejercicio para mantener el sistema de la inmunidad, tomando bastante agua. Si tiene problemas como falla de corazón, falla de los riñones o del hígado, necesita tener cuidado y checar con su doctor primero para ver cuánto agua más o menos puede tomar en un día. Pero eso es algo que está muy importante para mantener la mucosa. ¿Qué es la mucosa?
Es lo mismo.
La mucosa,
Membranas mucosas.
las membranas
Hidratados.
porque este ayuda para limitar cuánto virus va a entrar en su sistema. También entrar en el sol es muy importante porque el sol mata virus. El sol también ayuda para hacer vitamina D en la piel y esta vitamina D va a fortalecer su inmunidad. También el aire fresco, muy importante, y necesita descansar. Trate de recibir 8 horas de descanso cada noche y al fin necesita confiar en Dios.
Eso es, me gusta todo lo que ha dicho. All right, así que lo más importante es para hablar con sus médicos, mantener su calma. Y si usted está con esos síntomas, hay que aislar en su casa y luego hablar con su médico. Doctores, muchas gracias por venir.
Muchas gracias.
Doctor Brown. Sabe que somos médicos y tenemos que ser ejemplo. No vamos a tocar manos porque yo no quiero darle esta infección a usted ni a usted. Así que vamos a hacer
El nuevo saludo.
Eso. Hasta entonces, doctores. Hasta luego. Bye bye.
This broadcast was sponsored by Cooper Wellness Center and Faithful Path International Ministries. For more information on how to become a patient or a sponsor, please contact us at 1-844-343-8935 or visit our website at drdonacooper.com.